dolphins, chasing that cream. Step out that drop, caught up in the scene. Heavy on these streets, L to the E. Welcome to my block, blood splatter dreams. Dealers and dope fiends, chasing that cream. Step out that drop, caught up in the scene. Heavy on these streets, L to the E. Hop in the drop, eager to roll cream. Sweet body shorts, candy cane for the dope fiends. Rockin' your spleen, tip low with the fucking beam. And hit the canvas, my nigga, gotta move with this team. Your body is lean, ribs showing, suckers not eating. But you keep them on your lips, now your partner's leaking. Got your mama at the closet door looking stressed. Puffin' best, pour some liquor heavy on the west. Clowns can't contest, no competition. Snatch up your cash, sneaky cops out fishing. Clowns better understand, player, this is business. Ain't nothing personal. Welcome to my block, blood splatter dreams. Dealers.
Bitch. Hey, I threw my soul on this motherfucking beat. I kill a nigga just to make sure that I eat. Listen to my heart, I hear my daughter when that beat. Talk to Moo, he hear that shade when I speak, yeah. Mama told me watch all the company you keep, yeah. Slide on the west and then we post up on the east, yeah. I'm on your neck, it ain't no motherfucker sleep, yeah. Creep up on you, I know some motherfucking creeps, yeah. Hey, just be patient, your time gon' come. Like a rock star on the stage, I just mind my drum. Pull a pistol in the middle of some beef, I'm behind my gun. If it ain't the police, you can never name a time I run. Easty nigga, I kept that dope in my socks, okay. You better duck or get motherfucking shot, yeah, okay. You ain't my brother if you fucking with ops, yeah, okay. Stick up your plug and have him take me to your spot, yeah, okay. See, you don't understand that peek through them blinds. I was dancing with the devil, brother, time after time. Guarantee you see murder, you take a look inside my eyes. Money called me and told me they all acting surprised. Can't believe what you saying, I know you wear a disguise. You gon' fail trying to play me, you gon' die trying to try. Put some shots in this upper body, put his soul in the sky. I am not with the back and forth, all my niggas trying to slide. On gorilla, threw my soul on this motherfucking beat. I kill a nigga just to make sure that I eat. Gotta listen to my heart, I hear my daughter when that beats. Talk to Moo, he hear that shade when I speak, yeah. Mama told me watch all the company you keep, yeah. Slide on the west and then we post up on the east, yeah. I'm on your neck, it ain't no motherfucking sleep, yeah. Creep up on you, I know some motherfucking creeps, yeah. See, you don't hate me, you just hate the addiction. I remember being alone in the most fucked up position. I pray to God every night, remove me out these conditions. They gon' judge before they know you and really see how you living. Can't expect you to pay attention and really seek out the difference. But let me warn you, please keep my name up out of your mentions. I'd rather. Nah, fuck that nigga, I'm finna go to gang mafia. EBK.
We just gonna about to run this live at Diamond Keyway Conversations. Make sure y'all go check that out. Wack 100 Lies, Bailbondsman sending paperwork to Texas gun case. Plug P CS2 back paperwork. Let's get to it. Enjoy the live.
Listen, bro, I hate reps, but I don't call niggas. Listen, bro, I hate reps, but I don't call niggas reps if I ain't got.
I sent T money to pay for
work. I don't believe in doing. You know what I'm saying?
Still fucking with him, that's on him.
And the niggas acting like a rat. I say all type of shit like that, but I'm not gonna come out and say this nigga's a snitch, this nigga's on paperwork, this nigga's a rat. No, I'm not gonna do that. But
Right, you should.
Black and white, nigga, it gives you something to fucking stand on, bro. And any nigga or any bitch in this room that reads this paperwork and feels a different way, like they still want to deal with a motherfucker like that, they ain't valid. They ain't got no
Share the room, share
they
the
ain't got no
room.
integrity.
Wait,
They ain't got no ethical means of.
he said, and if a nigga want to stand with a nigga like that after the paperwork, what he say about them type of niggas, bro? Somebody clip this. This is coming from an exposer. And the phones is compromised. Box punked the game. This is what the nigga CS2 Back is telling Money Mark Stevens. 2 messages was left on Mark's phone. Mark is involved in the gang business and operations. Duke, Vac is calling on another line to Mark. So now, this is the summary from the police about what's going on in this call, right? AW transcribed by KLS. Mark Stevens hit me about 3 times. He want me to give him your number, so I was calling to
Teddy
clear
Queen,
with you first
good,
before
sis.
I give him your number. He called me and you know what I'm saying? You right, man. No telling what lies he told a nigga on the phone. You know what I'm saying? Dealt off. And then though, when you call the dude, you make the dude talk about certain stuff on the horn. You know that's what they got going on. I ain't got no time for this dude. So Dale Dog is telling Mark Stevens, yeah, and when you talk to the dude, you make the dude talk about certain stuff on the horn. You know, he's in a. Now they know that Stutterbox and Wack 100 ride together. They've been on the phone talking, and they're trying to get them caught up on a wiretap. So he tells Mark Stevens, when you talk to the nigga back, get him to talk about certain stuff on the horn, on the phone. Get the nigga to implicate himself on some shit on the phone. You know, that's what they got going on. I ain't got no time for this dude. Mark Stevens, I mean, you know, that's good information. See, now I know how to, like I said, I ain't helping the Wack boy in a minute. You know what I'm saying? He called me out the blue yesterday. Not yesterday, yeah. Last night, left me 2 messages. And this morning. And I just needed to know how to play it cool. You know what I'm saying? Yelled off. Nigga probably said, man, nigga going to jail, you know? Laughing. So they laughing because the gig is up. You know what I'm saying? They know that Wack then got caught up and he trying to line them up. I asked that because they are obligated to tell the truth even though it's an interview online. They not compelled to tell the truth only in court of law or officially interrogated. Wait, you talking about who you talking about? The feds? No. A 137 informant, they aren't obligated to reveal the identity. They can't. They're forbidden from revealing the identity of a federal 137 confidential source, even to a judge, bro. Even to a judge. So you're wrong there, Big Red 66. Matter of fact, let me get to that real quick, and then we're gonna be bringing this to an end shortly. It won't take me that long to get to that either. Let me see where we at.
Some real shit.
On the poll, is
Wack
the Big
100's
U indictment going to blow Wack
exposed.
100 cover as confidential source? 71% say yes. 19% said, nah, Damu and Keyway been exposed them. and 10% say no. So that's 350 votes. You know what I'm saying? 351 votes. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, boom. We gonna end that poll. I'm gonna start another quick poll right now. Start a poll. Now the question that we asked is Wack 100 CS2 back? Boom. That's it. Let's go here. Boom, boom, boom. We got the new poll. Get active in that poll. Participate in that. And then what we was gonna get into was let me see, Reggie Wright. What is his name? Phil Carson. Reggie Wright. Boom. So we finna get into that right now. Wait, how long is that one? Yeah, here we go, right here. 5 minutes. So let's get to this. All right. We finna get to this. This is for the brother who thought that they had to tell the truth about him being a CS. It's 137. Let me lace you up real quick, like a fresh pair of chucks. Hit that like button if y'all just coming in. Let's go.
Go ahead, Reg.
Why didn't you ever come knocking on my door and talk to me? You know that I was an open book, cooperate. Why you never came and just said, "Hey, Reggie, I want to talk to you about these things."
You want me to?
You know, I knew.
You want me to answer? Hold on. Oh, Reggie, if that's your question, do you want me to honestly answer
FBI agent reveals Reggie White Jr.
has I'm trying to protect you from yourself
source. FBI informant.
Okay.
Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe.
We did talk to you, Reggie,
to the channel.
in its
Share
document.
this,
okay.
share this.
This is what I'm trying to explain to you. Yes. This is what I'm trying to explain to you, Reggie. Whether you remember things or don't remember things, I don't have control over. Okay? Yes, it's documented. Okay? Now, here's a good way. So I want to kind of segue out of this because I am trying to protect you. Okay? You understand that at the FBI, and I think it's probably a good way to end this part of the discussion.
Okay.
Back then, slow down. No, slow down.
Okay.
I didn't say that. I'm a 270 source is somebody that's willing to testify. They're willing to get a break on whatever the situation they're caught up in, and to try to get a break, they're willing to testify. They have to testify, or we would not open them up as 70 source. Okay? Period. The other type of source is what we call the 137 source, and that's somebody that's not willing to testify, and we will never divulge their information, and we will never state whether they were an FBI source or not. And the reason for that is for a couple reasons. One, it's not only to protect the source, but two, it's to show sources out there that when the FBI gives their word, when they want somebody to cooperate, if that person is willing to cooperate, but they don't want anybody to know that they're cooperating, they don't want anybody to know the kind of information they're providing, or what the reasons are that they are providing the information and cooperating, that we will never divulge their name. That includes even in front of a judge. Okay? Now that's a pretty strong relationship that the FBI would have with what we call the 137 source back then. Okay? You understand that? You understand the distinctions between the two, right?
After the Texas case.
Got you.
Okay.
We're still pending.
Let's just leave this right now then, that at first you didn't think that you'd ever met with me. And now you
If you said you was LJ's partner, LJ. If you was LJ partner, then I agree. that I
Shout
met
out
with
to
you
San
before.
Bernardino.
Okay, you know what? For your own, Reggie, you got to trust me on this. For your own safety, let's just move on to something else then, okay?
I'm not worried about it because it's obvious.
Well,
Yeah.
it's for your own good. Anyways, right.
Anyway, okay. The
I'm
other
just saying,
thing is,
Reg, be careful, Reg.
even if I'm sure Greg Higgins and them and all of them got that information, and so they had that information in their file.
Let me tell you this right now. Okay? If I had a 137 source, not just for this Biggie case, but for all the other cases that I've worked, those documents would not get handed over to an LAPD officer. Period.
Not
I just
even
got done
been federalized?
Hold on.
Okay.
I just got done telling you we would not even provide that information to a judge. Okay? So there's certain, now also when there's certain files are restricted, okay? That doesn't mean that just anybody, that means any FBI agent even could go in and say, take a look.
Hey, I'm going to go to some shit, Big Reg. You wrong, bro. On the 137, they're not going to have the FD 302, and it will not be made available. You can't request it, bro. They have an obligation to protect them. That's what he's saying, bro. And I'm gonna show you something else. Let's go.
Look at another FBI agent's case file. Period. It's a need-to-know basis. You're under this assumption, and again, Reggie, this is where you keep making this mistake. You're assuming things that are just wrong. You're assuming that any FBI agent or anybody that's been deputized as an FBI agent is going to have access to all FBI cases. That is incorrect.
On the
Period.
13th, I go to surgery.
Yes. Okay? So what I'm saying, it's probably in your best interest that we move on to something else. You can trust me or don't trust me. It's not because it's, you know what? It's no skin off my back. But I think we can now agree that yes, you have met with me. Yes, you have talked with me. Yes, I've met with your father. Yes, I know what your background is. In fact, I mean, in some of these other interviews that you've done, you keep saying like, Bill Carson doesn't know shit about me. I've never met the guy. That's wrong, isn't it?
This was the first that I hear that, and if you, I remember LJ, and if you said you was his partner, then I met with you.
Okay.
Like he did have somebody with.
Okay, we should probably. Okay, I think we'll move on.
So yeah, that's a federal FBI agent, Phil Carson, taking Reggie Wright for believing that Greg Caden would know every the FBI who worked that case, that they would know every FBI agent's informants, and that's just not the case. He says it's a case-by-case basis. Only officers assigned to that case who has clearance for that type of information on the need-to-know basis. So not even all FBI agents would know who and every one of their informants unless they had access and that kind of clearance to get that fact. That's not public information, brother, especially on a 137 informant. 137 informant would be like Wack 100 saying, oh, I just left up out of Yael's job. He got an AK and 2 kilos of cocaine, selling dope out the back window of his job.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
And because he's a reliable source, they're going to go up on that and utilize that to get the search warrant and raid.
Bailbondsman
lead to a bust and he gets paid.
Texas gun case.
Or he gets time credit off whatever his last case he got was, without ever having to testify. He will never testify. You know what I'm saying? That's part of the agreement. You know. But we also got this, since you think that you could just get access to that. I got Freedom of Information Acts on all of this, bro. They is not giving you that. I might have it right here somewhere. I'm gonna look for it in a minute, but let me read through this real quick. I gotta find this. So I jumped in Greg Caden. Man, I pressed Greg Caden. I'm finna get this all on here so it'll be in audio, and I don't have to keep going to look for it because he blocked me. So he got so frustrated, he got disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? So check this out. So hold on. I'm trying to grab my Facebook Messenger back channel with Detective Greg Caden, the one that is buddies with Reggie, the one that Wack 100 brought to
y'all checking out Damu Keyway Conversations
Clubhouse
live. Wack 100 lives.
Yeah, I'm still looking. It should be
Bailbonds,
coming up. Hit that like button if y'all just coming in.
Gun case.
Show a little bit of support.
Pull up,
Appreciate
y'all
it.
know what it is.
Ahead of time. Pay it forward, man. You know what I'm saying? We over here cooking.
What
we
y'all
got
think?
the content.
Shit's been exposed.
Damn, I thought that
In
was
the
it.
comments.
Yeah, you still with us, bro?
Yo,
Let them know where they at.
we on you? Are we on Clubhouse?
No, not tonight, brother.
Man, listen, y'all already know what it is, man. Y'all sitting in one of the hottest lives on YouTube. Man, y'all sitting, salute to the chat. That's where it's at. Salute to the Blue Wrench Mob. That's on their job. And salute to the friends that tapped in for the first time. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to this content. You sitting with Deuce M's the Don. Yeah, the Keyway pop star. Down with Keyway. Conversations.
Okay, before we read that, let me go into the chat real quick. And cause we definitely want to be up in here. Wack been exposed. Hold on, let's get to this. Shout out to mods. Let's go. Man, we way up here, huh? Y'all meet on Beck Avenue. Oh shit, I gotta plug up my the computer before it die out. The charge is almost gone. All right, bam, we back home. So I think this is far enough. Free draws, free Big U, all facts and no fiction. Free Big U, Crenshaw District needs them. That's a fact. Don't forget to find the J-Rock clips. Right. I talked to Poochie, CS2 back. That's why I lied on him. Twin, that boy brought his permission slip to Wack to go on that field trip. Big U got squabbled. He never killed nobody in his life. He not a shooter. Man, that's what I was always told too. And they trying to put hot ones on him. Free draws. That's how you know it's a setup. About to roll up to this. The homie been running it up on Freaky Blood. I talked to dog. Raekwon Franklin. This was one of the first channels to play the J-Rock Knock Me Out Blood video a long time ago. That's a fact. Yael, meet me on Beck Avenue. He don't got Beck Avenue no more.
Make sure y'all share this.
That studio for sale right now. I got the pictures, bro. I did my 10 years in prison over a rat. My best friend walked on the stand to tell me you can have the streets. I'm just gonna work and go. I'm cool. Be a lane. Happy Mother's Day and safety. I'm gonna call y'all back. Raw 57 CS2 back. The reason bomb first in shambles right now. I talk to dog is the quote of the year. Y'all need to put that on something so I can waste my money on it. Bro, you ain't gotta tell me again. G for Vendetta. Check the link. I'm gonna make some t-shirts and shit tonight. Check the link on the store on Active Chucks on YouTube. We gonna help you spend your money on some. Wack and Stutterbox played each other with the phone tap. Facts. I'm talking about when he said he didn't get knocked out and then he said all he felt was wind. Then he said he took the punch. 3 different stories. Yeah, that's a fact. We didn't make it a short, but we covered it. He said he just ate it with the gay man. What's the gay man name? Jason Lee. Since when did raids occur with no paper trail? Slap 100. Dale switched the subject real fact. S&Y Wack. Did you say the 27th? 27 was the day he talked to him, April 27th. And then, but they raided it and served the search warrant on it. Matter of fact, I'm finna get into it right now. Shout out to the mods. Y'all gonna be able to see where I got the confirmation. The Wack boy Rico coming. Hey, that's a fact, Ricky. He think he outsmarting these niggas, but Loose Coochie, he knew Loose Coochie was working, but he didn't know Loose the liability. Thank you, Deuce, and y'all for staying with y'all are real. Hey man, the only way we can do it. Deuce, how you feel about the poll? Valley. No, I was referring to the interview with Greg, Reggie, and Wack on the Clubhouse interview. Yeah, even on that, they ain't gonna reveal it. I don't give a fuck if they in a courtroom. They not gonna reveal a 137 informant to a judge, bro. So how you think they gonna feel compelled or gotta do it to you? They got their own, the feds got their own obligations to their assets. But here we go. So I'm gonna go through all of this so we can have it on record. Then y'all gonna take us up out of here. I'm trying to locate. This is Greg Caton. Let me make sure y'all can see this. Okay, yeah, y'all can see it. Boom. Greg Caton. I'm trying to locate the investigative report on your interview with Cash Jones and the audio or video recording thereof. How can I obtain that? I don't think it would be available, Lamonte. I don't think they would destroy evidence of an ongoing investigation. He waived his Miranda rights. I'm talking about what? So there has to be documentation of that. And any statement pertaining to the investigation, pertinent or non-pertinent, would not be destroyed. Greg Caton says, I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm saying it would be hard to get your hands on it. As a citizen, don't I have a right to access such public records?
Y'all listen
Not
to Donald
necessarily.
Conversations.
Then I say, the only way that we the people wouldn't have a right to access public records is if those records contain confidential information. Even then, I should be able to get a redacted version. Greg Caton says, or if it's related to an open homicide case. I'm asking for Wack 100's paperwork when he went to talk to them on April 27, 2008, and he tells me one of the reasons that they wouldn't be able to give you Wack 100 shit is if this.
Remember, Greg Caden is the dirty cop that was on the Tupac and Biggie murders. He tied in the conversation with him where he's protecting Wack 100.
Related to an open homicide case. I said, I understand that. That in itself indicates enough about the contents of Cash's statement therein. Jones didn't provide any pertinent info as far as we were concerned. So I say, not alleging he did. But what is pertinent to you and what is pertinent to the public is subjective. Tupac is still very loved religiously, so what happened or is alleged to have happened should be available to his family and followers. Subjectivity aside, it is not the practice nor purpose of law enforcement to involve itself in public affairs that are of a non-criminal matter. If Cash has something to say about Pac that is criminally non-pertinent, you can simply reach out to him and request an interview. He then can make his own choice. I hit the thumbs up. To help you further, I believe Jones was in CYA at the time both Pac and Big were shot. You can probably verify that. Therefore, if he was incarcerated, any thoughts had about the murder would be opinion or hearsay. Well, they do have hearsay exceptions in courts in California and even in the feds. There's a lot of hearsay exemptions. Said thank you for your help and assistance. I says, as far as your task force for Tupac Biggie murders, but I specifically questioned the Main Street case, the kidnapping and Stutterbox. Yeah, that's an interesting story. I said he waived his Miranda rights and spoke with you in relation to the Tupac and Biggie murder investigation. You admitted that you didn't know what was going on with the Stutterbox and Main Street case at the time you spoke with Cash Jones. It wasn't until later that you got involved with that case. Now he says, I was there before it started. And then I sent him the clip because he lying. Greg Caden says he doesn't know what Wack has going on with the Main Street case. Greg became involved later. I said, then why did you say you didn't know what was going on with Stutterbox in the Main Street case? So you were joined to the Fed case before it started? So then he sends me his calendar. This is his calendar. January 10th, 2008. This is work. He goes to work at 0600 hours, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Detective Brule briefing with Chief Brennan. Met with C. Metro Morez and Mark Arenas. Those were the two who originally had were the leads on the case until Detective Coet, and I'll get to that paperwork so that y'all be able to see that when I finish reading that. Read Del Dog and bringing the case to, and I don't know what that say, EOW 2000 Rampart, right? So the investigators on the Main Street Crip case asked me to help them federalize their case. Do y'all hear when Wack says that the case was never federalized? That it was the 302 is the conversation that they get in the statements, the debriefing that they get with the federal inmate. I mean with the informants. But this is telling you that he helped the Main Street Crip get federalized. I opened up the case as a federal case 2 weeks later. So in January 20-something, the Main Street case was federalized. The case name was The Main Attraction. So when Wack says that the case was never federalized, he's lying, right? Oh, okay, that makes sense. Because Cash Jones admitted that he went to the 64th floor on Wilshire to speak with you guys and saw everyone in FBI flak jacket. So Cash Jones did speak with the investigators in the Main Street Mafia Crip case. So when you said as the lead investigator for the Tupac and Biggie murder investigation, Cash had nothing too pertinent to add, that didn't include any information that he may or may not have provided pertaining to the Main Street Crip investigation, question mark. He didn't have anything to say about anything. Now, y'all know he lying about that, right? And you know how we know he lying about that? Because Wack said he told them that that house wasn't his house, and that that house wasn't his house, those guns wasn't his guns. They asked him and told him that Stutterbox told on him. They asked him about Suge. So we know that they're lying because they press play and then they press stop. They told him that they had him on wiretap. So we know he's lying. But anyway, let's get back to it. I said, then why is Mark Stevens saying that Cash called him several times trying to get in contact with Del Dog, but Del Dog was cool on that brother? In the transcribed wiretap on the Main Street case, that matches up to CS2 back calling Mark Stevens. In a wiretap, Mark Stevens even refers to not helping the Wack boy in a long time, while telling Del Dog that he just called several times saying Box went sour and the phones is compromised. I sent them the wiretap. Then I sent them the documentary when it was viral on World Star Hip Hop and my YouTube channel. Say, you did your movie with the Hollywood Effects. I did a 3-part documentary investigating the real truth, questioning 2 players directly involved. He said, I'm telling you, Cash Jones was not an informant, period. You can choose to believe or you can choose not to. I don't know what else to tell you. I said, I bet. Thank you for your information. So I sent that. Then I sent the other thing about 137. He get triggered. Jesus, Carson is such a fucking moron. All Reggie needs to do is post the 137 paperwork, which I have done on numerous sources. I said, I'm sure you have, but you were only privy to 137 paperwork for cases you had access to. He's essentially saying that you weren't clear for access to all FBI files. Only selective access, need to know basis. Okay, what's his point though? The only case that matters is the one we're talking about, right? So, back to the brother's point, that was evidence, and he even concurred that he doesn't have access to all FBI files or DEA files just because he's deputized as an agent. Every case and file is assigned to certain agents and they get clearance. He doesn't have clearance to every FBI file, neither does all FBI agents. So he concurred to that, bro. So I said, correct. What date did you raid Cash Jones' house? What date did Cash Jones meet with you in council and spoke with you?
About all this.
I'll look. It might take a few days. So then,
CIA, the crack
about 20 days later, I'm like, you never got back with the date Cash House was raided. Cash House was raided, nor the date when you spoke with him. If you gotta hide that information, I understand. No reason to hide anything, nothing to hide. I just forgot. Okay, how soon can you get it to me? What's it for? My documentary. Search warrant. Friday, April 25th, 2008. Meeting with Cash Jones and attorney Sunday, April 27, 2008. Right? So those are the dates that the search warrant was served, Friday, April 25th. And then he met with Cash Jones and his attorney at FBI headquarters, which is closed on Sundays. But Wack 100 was singing to the choir on a Sunday in FBI headquarters in a conference room with his attorney. I said, thank you for your assistance. So I sent them the thing, Caden lies and says there was no mention of Cash in the Main Street case. So then I sent them the paperwork. I said, why are you lying about this? If you look at the paperwork, right, on these pages where he said Cash's name was never mentioned in the Main Street case, you see that it says, received a phone call from Ross's brother and recording artist Ray J, telling him that Ross had been beaten up. Stevens later said he received calls from Ross's brother and Cash Jones. Stevens claimed no knowledge of a kidnapping. Then down here, within the next couple months, Mark Stevens received a voicemail message from Ross stating, I need to talk to you, man. The big fella, he's slipping. He's making a lot of mistakes. Soon after, Stevens received a call from Cash Jones. Jones told him that Ross had a videotape of Shaquille O'Neal having sex with a woman, not his wife, at Ross's home, and that Ross could take the tape to TMZ and get a lot of money. Investigators asked Mark Stevens if Ross, Jones, or anyone else ever demanded money in exchange for the tape. Stevens said no, and he felt that this was an attempt for Ross to get back in contact with Shaquille O'Neal, right? So let's go. Let's get up out of there. Boom. So I sent Greg Caden the sheriff's paperwork, right? Here goes another one. Ross, now that was Mark Stevens who implicated that Wack 100 came and told him that Stutterbox got a tape of Shaq fucking a bitch that wasn't his wife and that TMZ would pay a lot of money for it. Boom. Here it goes. Ross, who was still upset over the fact he was owed money, had a friend named Cash Jones deliver a message to Mark Stevens and Shaquille O'Neal. Jones told them that Ross had a videotape of O'Neal having sex with a woman inside of Ross's home in July 2007. Stevens, who had been to Ross's home, knew that he had surveillance cameras throughout his home and that O'Neal had, in fact, been there. Ross told investigators Fournier and Coet. This is who interviewed Robert Ross. Detective Paul Fournier is the lead detective, sheriff, and lead detective on the Main Street Mafia Crip investigation. And Detective Michael Coet is his partner. And Stutterbox told them that he viewed the surveillance footage from the surveillance system monitor. However, he never downloaded it to a tape. He said the footage has since been recorded over by later surveillance. Ross was adamant that he was just bluffing in hopes that he would get the money that was owed to him. The kidnapping and robbery took place approximately 2 weeks after Jones delivered the message to Mark Stevens and Shaquille O'Neal. So Stutterbox told on Wack, he tells them that he had Wack go tell Shaq and Mark Stevens about the sex tape. Basically, Wack been exposed. Basically, that in an attempt to extort Shaq and Mark Stevens for money that he felt he was owed from the Ray J deal. That's what happened. Hope should come home. I missed the 80s, 90s, and early 2s. Wasn't bad. What's going on now is like telling someone in the 20s we have phones that allow FaceTime. Somebody put it in the chat. Wait, who on the phone? Which phone? I don't know what you're talking about. I hope you spoke there. I'll get back to the thing. Let me finish reading this. So, then I sent the other thing where detective, remember I was telling y'all who the lead detective was on the Main Street investigation while Wack was lying, trying to say it was Greg Cady, grew up, was shown the fact the investigation was delayed. Wait, hold on. Delayed due to the ongoing federal investigation and wiretap case involving several of the suspects involved in the kidnap robbery. On July 16, 2008, investigators Fournier and Coet spoke with Detective Quintero regarding the above case. Investigators told Detective Quintero that they were assigned to a task force with the LAPD and they were involved in the Main Street Crip investigation. Investigators requested this case be reassigned to them and their request was granted. The case was assigned to Detective Fournier and Detective Coet. Those were the lead investigators on the case. So I asked him, why did you lie about it? I said, so you lie about Cash Jones' name being in the paperwork on the Main Street case. You allow Cash to present you as the lead investigator of the Main Street Mafia Crip investigation. Your name isn't even in the paperwork. It clearly says Fournier and Coet. So you questioning the legitimacy of the paperwork that Mark Stevens provided? Let's compare it to your wiretap paperwork. You have the federal wiretap from the Main Street investigation. Then it's the West Hollywood Sheriff's investigation of the Main Street Crip. Then it's the 77 Division LAPD investigation of the kidnapping of Stutterbox. What I'm showing him is that I know that you have multiple agencies investigating the Main Street Mafia Crip, including the Joint Task Force, which goes into the Tupac and Biggie murder investigation. Each paperwork and each police officer's report going to be different paperwork. So if Wack 100 is an informant for Greg Caden in the Joint Task Force and the sheriff, the LAPD at 77 Division paperwork and report might not be revealing that. They might not have access or clearance to have to know that he's working with the feds, that he's working with the task force. So I said there's discovery deriving from each of these agencies' investigation thereof, not to mention the DEA. So why lie? I heard you say that Box was CS2 back. He was not. He was the victim and an open complainant named in the Main Street case. What is confidential about that? He said, "Are you on crack? Be honest." I said, "Pull my record. Only one crack case in your LAPD Southwest Division crash unit. Livingston and Messenger planted that. Till today, never seen that dope. I'm sure you can find the internal affairs complaint I filed stating that. Although the blue wall ensured that investigation went nowhere. Yet, you didn't answer no question I asked. Is your position that I falsified these documents or that Mark Stevens falsified these documents? What documents? The discovery and wiretaps I sent you from the Main Street Crip investigation. If you are sending images, I can't open them. I'm in Asia and my phone is only receiving text. When do you expect to be back? About 2 weeks. Okay, I'll reach back out to you then. Then I said, did you tell Cass Jones that me and Mark Stevens manufactured or altered the documents transcribed wiretap that refers to CS2 back on conversation between Del Dog and Mark Stevens? He said, have you lost your mind? You need to find something meaningful to do with your time, brother. Wasting it on foolish endeavors will ultimately get you nowhere. Find something that increases life, not strife. Just my friendly advice. I said, no, definitely haven't lost my mind. I asked this question because that is what is being insinuated. I want an answer. And then I sent them all kind of positive shit. In qualified immunity, all of this active checks, in qualified immunity, one in Vegas, one in LA, back to school supply drives, active chuck charitable org, Labor Day feed the people. We fed up over 700 people. Then I sent them all of this stuff. I sent them my lawsuit against Amazon and YouTube, which I settled out and won on that. I said, what is meaningful to you and what is meaningful to me are two different things. I'm president of Active Chucks Entertainment, chairman of the board for Active Chucks Charitable Org, CEO for Thug Torius G's, my publishing company, and on the board for Badass. And then I sent them that.
Biggie and Tupac.
Not to mention I'm a podcaster, founder of Damu and Keyway Conversations, a part of the media with Val TV as an A&R and VP of marketing. And I sent them that. And director of operations for livestreamers.com. I sent them that. With all that said, I reiterate my question. He has insinuated such publicly, bringing into question my credibility. I've thoroughly researched these topics, interviewed some of the people involved, etc. The transcribed wiretap paperwork of Mark Stevens' call with Del Dog refers to CS2 back. I didn't add that or anything to it. You can release your copy of that wiretap as I have since you question the authenticity. He says, you're right, evidently. All the Cass Jones nonsense is meaningful to you. So I wish you the best in whatever pursuit you are chasing. I, however, think it's idiotic and of no social value, so I won't waste any unnecessary time with it. Fair enough? You see, he will not answer the question. I said, laugh out loud. Evidently, Cass Jones' nonsense was meaningful enough to you when he gave you Poochie name to help your case in Biggie Smalls' investigation. But carry on with your cryptic behavior and protecting your informant. I'm sure you don't believe any of my works are idiotic. Stop diverting. You are the big bad LAPD, well, used to be, until you were disgraced and encouraged to retire. But I'm sure you are not afraid to debate the facts with an idiot. Imagine that. He said, been debating with idiots for decades. It's nothing new. I'll leave you to your own lunacy and self-induced idiocracy. Years from now, or hopefully sooner, you'll recognize the valuable time you've wasted chasing ghosts, boogeymen, and ill-conceived ideas. With that, I bid you adieu. And he blocked me. Let me close that. Hey, y'all. Go ahead, y'all. What you got to say about that, man? I want to hear what y'all think about that. Why would he put this out on the internet? Get his name, though. Copy that. Reggie was a police officer taking drug dealers' money and he became a rap police officer. I remember all this. Greg was sick of this interview. He said, let's wrap it up. He's saying Reggie is a source. Fact. It's all in agreement. Reactivity. Free Suge Knight. I missed the 80s and 90s. Lil Hawk out. Shout out to Bloods and Crips. Reggie, get on Vlad and that act like he's silent. And that's why CS2 Wack is so cocky. He knows the feds won't even tell a judge who he is. But all the stuff he's admitted to online, his time is up. Yeah, he really revealed his own identity. So why would a snitch choose to be a 270 is my question. Because they forced to. The crimes that they caught with are so big that they have zero leverage in negotiation. And so they gotta testify to see it all the way through. You know what I'm saying? Hey, move, nigga. Go.
Nasty work. Hey, make sure y'all like, comment,
but Reggie Wack best friend hit
go subscribe to Active
B's
Chucks.
target shit. Ooh, okay, left my ass off. How the fuck you don't remember talking to the Fed? That part, Lou, right? Lou, the LAPD and Feds don't even like each other. Deuce is right.
Fact.
Unless he talked to so many that he can't remember them all. What's crazy is what Greg Caden ain't telling you. He said it on another that Wack 100's lawyer
criticism.
He met Wack 100 at his lawyer's office.
Scholarships and
so that means Wack talked to Greg Caden and him twice. Once at his lawyer's office, and then the one he told us on the 64th floor. So Wack definitely debriefed, and it was so good, he had to do it twice. Because it was twice as night. Hey, nigga, stop. All that backdooring is crazy. But if Big U goes to trial, he could fight to find out who the informants are. Oh, he's going to do it. I forget the type of hearing where you request that. Oh, no, he's going to subpoena Wack, period, and get him on the stand. He's going to subpoena Detective Michael Coet, who said Wack was, oh, I'm cooking tonight. I thought y'all knew. How did Dale Dog pass? He got knocked down, man. Unalive. Matter of fact, let me put this on here for y'all real quick. For those who don't know who Detective Michael Coet is, he was partnered with Paul Fournier, who was the lead detective on the Main Street case. And him being the partner of the lead made a statement that y'all can never forget. And this is why Greg Caden let Del Dog and them off, because it would have revealed that Wack 100 was his informant on the Biggie case. And mind you, LA already had a $400 million lawsuit from Biggie's estate, the Notorious Biggie's estate. They was suing them. So I'm gonna play this real quick. So for those who don't know who Detective Michael Coet is, don't never forget this, because that sheriff who was partners with the lead investigator said this.
Dude that spoke on Shaq, he's completely right, because I was caught up in the middle of all that.
Well, first of all, there were no arrests made other than Cash Jones.
Wack 100 most famously known.
That's Detective Michael Coet. Listen to him. He's on the TV. That's me and Yael in Hollywood. I got up out of witness protection just to do this.
So all that.
Well, first of all, there were no arrests made other than Cash Jones.
Wack.
And he said there was no arrest made other than Cash Jones. The sheriff, whose name is in the paperwork that we're talking about. My auntie got paid by the feds to tell on everybody. Fact, dude, listen to Reggie's past submissive voice. He was calling Mark from the 60th floor. Damu and Keyway conversation. Leon Knight, salute, bro. Pre-Suge, he keeps telling the same thing. Buddy Flowers, he probably was. Fuck said, know what more proof do y'all need? How many almost rats y'all know? Club jail. This is what Wack figured out with this loose cannon case. Listen, now that's something else. I'm finna play this for y'all. Damn, I was finna go. You done got me started, Kid the Barber, but I can't let this go. So this nigga Wack realized that the nigga Loose Cannon was a double agent. See, Wack knew this nigga was a rat. They all knew he was a rat. Shit, he was ratting publicly. We all knew he was a rat, right?
For the live, I'm gonna get to a little bit of that.
Let me text this real quick. Warrant, serve. Oh, y'all ain't gonna want to miss this. Hit that like button if y'all just getting in. All right, bam. So I think I got it. I don't want to get Vlad. I don't want Vlad be hitting niggas shit. So I don't want to get hit. But I think I put it over here. No, I just gonna go to the channel. Y'all ain't gonna want to miss this, man, cause Wack figured out that this nigga was a double agent, right? Let's go, Vlad TV. Let's go on here. Okay, that's a video, so it's a short, huh? No, I think it is a video. When it happened 4 hours ago. OTF Wack 6 hours ago. Here it goes. Y'all, tell me, can you hear this shit real quick?
What's going on with you and Loose Cannon right now? I'm bringing some interesting stories. Well, I mean, these guys, man, they come into this game and
no, he went on a Sunday.
And I'm one of those guys that's been around. I've been around for a minute. And people that know me, it's funny because he said it before. He said, man, you know what dangerous about you? Something could be going on that you won't even be able to tell if you know what's going on. So, you know, when you know certain things are going on, you test certain people, you know, that's just like if you were to tell your editor, right, hey, care about security guard, you got somebody that'll buy all the equipment, right? Right, leave the door unlocked. He's gonna come in and get it, and then we'll cut the money up, right? You're telling your editor to tell your security guard this, right? Mm-hmm. If the security guard never said that to you, you come back at 8 o'clock at night, right?
Make sure y'all like,
see the
comment,
doors
subscribe
open,
to the channel.
right? At that point in time, you know, the security guard is not with you. Now, some people will react, fire them, I don't want to see you again. You know what I'm the type of guy to do? Hey, tell the editor, yo, it went by here, but it was some people in the parking lot. They gonna do it another time. And I'm gonna keep him right where I can see him. And I'm gonna sit there, I'm gonna give on the back. I'm gonna do all that. But what you do know is he's not with you now. If the security guard calls you, hey Vlad, what up, bro? Hey, look, bro, the editor got to me talking about some wild stuff about this. Now you know he's with you, right? So
Boot on the go, salute.
See what happened. That had long been happening. So as he's running around and doing what the things he's doing,
CS.
I really believe that his mission was to come in, infiltrate. Think he can utilize me for my resources. You talking about Loose Cannon? Yeah, try to get me to include myself in some things that he initiates, so then that backlash falls back on me and get myself out the way. But he what he didn't know is he should have known the day of the notion.
So Wack is saying that Loose Cannon wasn't just trying to knock Big U off the streets and set up Big U. Loose Cannon came working and targeted two people, Big U and Wack 100.
Yeah.
And this is why he's scared. And he said something. Didn't I say stop, nigga? And this is why he's so scared, right?
Now we was talking on yesterday live. I feel he's definitely communicating with his pops, and I think it's even higher. It goes a little higher. You know what I'm saying? So like he says, he definitely was working, following him, and he was on a mission. Loose Booty Cannon definitely was on a mission. Free that nigga Big U.
Because Loose Cannon already said
on the go.
That Wack 100 had words. These niggas had words with Wack 100, and then Wack said, "Nephew, let's put on a demonstration." And then Wack, and he said, and that's what he did. But the beef if you believe Loose, he's such a liar, you don't know what to believe, right? But he said this the night that it happened, when he went live, right? And he said that Wack said make it happen, and that's why he did it. So if he did that under instructions by Wack 100, that's a conspiracy.
Wow.
Wack
That's crazy.
Is now implicated into that felony. On top of that, Wack came back with that watch. It was a robbery also. So now he's not only implicated in the assault, but in having it being reasonably foreseeable that if they were to rob and double strip the nigga and take all of and take his shit, that it would turn into a robbery. Wack, it has exposure at being charged on the no jumper beating. But Wack said something else, which he said he peeped it, and he said that Wack was that Loose Cannon was trying to get him lined up back at the Crip Cop 600 pennies fake ass boxing match. And guess who he was trying to line him up with getting them to attack? Bosco 100, YouTubers. I hope y'all clip this. Yeah. Wack 100 says that Loose Cannon was trying to get him involved in crimes to take him off the street and trick him up off the street. He knows this now. It was cool when Loose Cannon was just implicating Big U in crime and trying to get Big U off the streets and help succeed in that. But when he implicated himself in crimes and implicate Wack 100 in crimes, now it's a problem. Pay attention.
At night, he tried to line me up. I didn't let it happen. You know what the lineup was?
You talking about before we walked in or after we left?
When we got in.
Yeah.
No, you know what the lineup was? The lineup was Bosco. If you was over there, what didn't I let happen?
You didn't let us get on Bosco. I
continue to say don't nobody touch Bosco, right?
Yeah. We was deep.
I also said he gonna wake up in the morning and dish and say everybody's a bitch, right?
Yep.
Do you see the lineup in Bosco? Do you understand how that would have been the lineup?
I overstood.
No, I'm asking you. Do you understand how that would have been the lineup?
So Loose Cannon was trying to push an issue to get them to make Bosco content and assault and do some harm to Bosco.
Some nasty
and Wack at the 600 penny fake ass fight in Pasadena. You know what I'm saying? He been New Deuce. Who got arrested on that Main Street case? Del Dog, 50 Cent. We could go to the list. Hold on. Let me read it to you real quick.
Make sure I like, comment, and subscribe to the
Let me
channel.
see. And it just because somebody didn't get arrested, don't mean the nigga didn't tell. I don't know where y'all get that shit from, or who got arrested. It don't matter if a nigga didn't get arrested. Or a nigga say that nigga Deuce M shot that nigga Tupac, and just because the police don't got enough to arrest me, does that mean you didn't snitch on me on shooting Tupac? Y'all crazy, bro. I don't know who laced you young. Who raised you niggas, bro? No, for real.
I don't know.
It don't matter who if they got arrested or not, whether they prosecuted or not. You could, nigga could say that right now, and then I turn a snitch and never go to jail. Does that mean I didn't get told on? Yeah, bro. Y'all got the game fucked up. Niggas ain't supposed to talk to the police about another man, period. Now, if you want to tell on yourself and accept responsibilities for crimes you've done, hey, so be it. That's up to you. But let me see, where is that work at? I'm getting it just for you, brother. I'm gonna read off the name just for you. Let's go. Since you want to know who got arrested, we gonna do that, because we got all the receipts, but it's just what was the use of that question? Shaq and Money Mark, they never got enough evidence to lock them up. But look, here it go right here. January 12th, 2009, file number, there it go, kidnapping, 207 PC, robbery, 211 PC, action, active victim witnesses interview, victim, Robert Ross, the date, February 11, 2008, at about 12 o'clock, location, this is the address to the pink dot, suspect 1, Liddell Rawls, he was arrested, suspect 2, James Harbin Wood, he was arrested. Suspect 3, Rat, Marlon Hunt, he was arrested. Suspect 4, Dion Hawkins, aka D-Lo, he was arrested. Suspect 5, Taekwon Wingate, aka SK, he was arrested. Suspect 6, Eddie Hill, aka Lil West. Suspect 7, Brandon Nieder, aka 50 Cent, bro. Those are the 7 main streets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The Wack 100 said he orchestrate and help free the Crips. Those is the 7 main streets. You know what I'm saying? And that's from the work. You know, I made that work up, but I don't know none of those dudes. Real names didn't grow up with none of them. None of that. Liddell Rawls, obviously, he was hood famous, so niggas knew about Del Dog, 4 Life Records, especially as I used to fuck with Big Jess. You know what I'm saying? When it was Mafia for Life Records, you know what I'm saying? Damn, my phone died, then boom, 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 I put it on the charger, then on Paru, I lost my thought. Stop and react to it every 20 seconds. Mike B, what resources? This nigga CS2 really think he's gifted. What resources? His supply of butt plugs? Everybody that just came in, hit that like button for us. We appreciate it. Thank you and salute, man. Salute, man. Appreciate that, Mike B. Keep regulating that. I'm over here scratching my head. LOL. Them Chucks active, champ. Expose the debriefers while exposing the exposers. One up, one down, burning swine on the Sabbath to a crisp. M&M's took cook, champ. Yeah, I'm cook. He lying. He targeted Big U and made Goofy Loose to snitch on TV. Wack knew Loose was slow and stupid to implement Big U in crime. Bro, I think you're wrong. He is stupid. but he ain't as stupid as y'all think, bro. That nigga Loose Cannon already had cases pending and investigations pending that he was already working on in Riverside and in the Inland Empire. So he's been working. He implicated Gigi in crime. He implicated Crazy in crime. So he's been working. And he knew that he was facing jail. So he got up under Big U to take him down so he don't have to go to jail, and then flipped the script and got up under Wack and played close to him to try to take him down. Nigga, that nigga is not as dumb as y'all think.
That's a fact.
That's what Wack is telling you. He just realized. Nigga, the nigga came to take them both down, nigga. That nigga's a snitch. Just like his daddy. Daddy probably put him up to it.
What I've been saying,
yeah, Wack run with all snitches to weaponize his enemy. What you were saying, y'all? Yeah, we already got that. Free Brick Baby. S.A. Rolando Mukhtar said free Brick Baby. Blood still on live. Mr. Nelson, it was a simple question, and I don't know who raised you getting upset and emotional over question. I'm emotional. It's a serious question. You know what I'm saying? The paperwork is already up on the channel. We've been running this shit for 3 years. But we did it again just for you, brother. You know what I'm saying? Salute Deuce and y'all for New Orleans. Salute to New Orleans. Y'all, take us out, bro. We cooked these pigs and these rats today. You know what I'm saying? Rake Banger, salute, fool. Algorithmic Records, salute. Well, I guess y'all is too busy and he can't hear us. Let me see. Wait. Let's see where we're going. Boom. Blood still on live. But no disrespect, Linwood, Hooster. No disrespect. But that's what was implied is because a nigga didn't
Make sure y'all go check out Active Chips.
If a nigga didn't go to jail, that means that a nigga couldn't have rat. Damn, why did you have to question who was in charge of his parenting?
We're gonna get to this
Not
next
his
shit.
parenting. You know what I'm saying? Raised him up. The streets raised me. So that's different. Let's go. We gonna get up out of here. Damn, I already turned it off.
I'm a day one from my section. It ain't nothing you can tell, 'cause I stay dangerous and keep a weapon. 'Cause I'm a real one from my set. I'm a day one from my section. I was 15s, I was there in them trenches. I'm GTG, I was training, go get it. Niggas that know me know I'm with the business. Don't go back and forth with no nigga like tennis. If you from the hood, why you acting all timid? Niggas rap cap and they gon' pretend. Live what I rap what I live. You a day one, nigga. I'm a day one from my section. It ain't nothing you can tell, 'cause I stay dangerous and keep a weapon. 'Cause I'm a real one from my set. I'm a day one from my set.
I've been around and I done went hard. The Sharky Locals having meetings in his backyard. They don't know about the shit that I done been through. Facts. Niggas talking all that shit, but we don't know him. We don't know him. Facts. I put some money on my stones. They went to jail, I bought all his kid clothes. My nigga, like you say, we can't beef over no hoes. Every car I done drove, my day one then drove. That's facts.
I'm a day one from my section.
That's real.
It ain't nothing you can tell, blood. I stay dangerous and keep a weapon. Cause I'm a real one from my set. I'm a day one.
Back out like a crack at. This is your boy Ill. We ain't done yet. We ain't done yet. Proof that loose cannon is working. This is what they are saying. Make sure y'all go to Compton Rick Rock TV. Going to run them numbers up. Hub and the dub in the building.
Subscribe to the channel. Also hit that notification bell and catch every video when we drop it. On this one, this title is "We Got Content." Wack 100 calls academics with alleged proof that loose cannon is working with the people. I'm admit, man, I'm tired of this myself, homie. This war that these people got, man, come on, man. Y'all been knowing certain things been going on when y'all was hanging out in the past with the content that y'all was dropping. Y'all is street dudes. What part of this y'all don't understand? What y'all don't get? Y'all was sitting right there. Oh, y'all was sitting at the table when he was dry snitching back then. So what's the difference now, man? Let's get to this and see what's going on here, because I haven't heard it.
They were in the company of rats. So yeah.
I had a long day, and I'm not taking no note. We going straight down the middle today. Let's check it out.
Tired of typing tons of notes during class? There's finally a better way. It's called Otter.
Understood. No, yeah, he was telling me it's like a Crime Stoppers thing or something like that. But yeah, but it doesn't count. That's a private organization. Oh, understood. So, well, you know, to let you know something first going forward, you know that one of the two suspects, one of them is already deceased, right? The shooter is the one that's yes, one of them is deceased, and the shooter, he's still alive. That's the guy that I know. You know. So I mean, how would we do this? How would I get you the information? Would I have to come into the office, or would I have to? If you want to, you're welcome to come into the office, and we can do it face to face. If you prefer, you can just give it to me over the phone. Your choice. Okay. Yeah, I think I feel a little more comfortable coming in, man.
You feel a little comfortable coming in, but you're on the phone talking to him about whatever. I don't know if this is a lawyer. This is supposed to be loose cannon's lawyer, DA, whoever it is. I don't know. But there's somebody on the phone, I guess, acting like they got some information. I don't know if it's in loose cannon's favor or what, but so far I could barely hear what they saying, but something sounds a little off with this audio.
So it's just cut dry straight, just like that. Basically, I would come in, I give you
they
the
always
information,
run a
and you would never have to see me
place,
again. No, I'm saying, is that how it could go? Like I wouldn't have to. Yeah, because I'm here in hereditary with the information. So if I have you in the limit, actually, we can split over free. So I prefer it entirely coming from Korea. And like, how would it be able to get him released? Like, it's like a third party cooperation thing, right? So could he possibly get released ASAP? It's possible. I mean, I don't know. And that's direct bet. We'll certainly get him a lot. Get away from the building. Gotcha. So okay, Mike, what's the day? Is the day this week a good day to come in, or would next week be a good day to come in?
Well, if you give him any evidence and you say you ain't never got to see me again, well, when you go to court, you're gonna have to see you again. You're gonna have to get on that stand and testify. Ain't no giving somebody no evidence and not showing up to court and saying this is where you got it from. It don't work like that.
I can't come tomorrow. It'd have to be Friday or Monday. Okay, 1 o'clock works perfect for me. Also, do I need to bring in recordings I have or anything like that? Because Tremaine, the video that Tremaine gave you of the incident, you don't have the video with audio. You just have the one that has no audio, correct?
Okay, so they talking about that video that we played a couple of days ago. It was a video circulating with some guys supposed to committed a homicide, and I guess they saying that loose cannon is trying to use this video to get out of jail. But But the crazy part about it is this: everybody that's seen this video that been floating around. This video been on the internet, from my understanding.
Yeah. We played it on last night's live. We sent our condolences to that brother and his family. You know, they playing games with people's lives and shit. What y'all think, man? Is this proof that loose cannon is working? This gentleman over here, I guess he's supposedly representing loose cannon, and he's trying to get him, I guess, come with some evidence to the lawyer and try to get loose cannon out. Sounds like a play.
How's that gonna get him out of jail if that don't have nothing to do with him? Especially if they can prove that he wasn't nowhere, because they try to say that, I guess, that he has some involvement to do with it. They still got to prove that. You got to prove this stuff. You cannot get on the internet and say, oh, somebody did this, somebody is a part of this. You have to have proof. Now, if loose cannon is trying to use that audio, that video, and say himself and say that, it don't work like this. This ain't how it work, y'all.
Okay, well, I have the one with audio, so I definitely will bring that in. Okay. Well,
How you got a video with audio if it came from a Ring camera? If it came from a Ring camera, the only thing you're gonna hear is gunshots, because you could hear what's going on from the Ring camera, but you can't hear what's going on in the inside of a car. If the video didn't come from the inside of the car, if the video came from the Ring camera, only thing you're gonna hear is some gunshots. That's it.
I look forward to seeing you on Friday, man. Do you have a address? Excuse me? Do you have a address? Yes, sir. I already have the address. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Mike. Take care. All right.
Nasty work. Nasty work.
Okay. Wow. Whoa. Okay. First of all, I gotta do this. Oh, sorry, chat.
Yo, y'all can go check out Compton Rick Rocks TV. Go over there, check out Academics. They playing. He gonna play the video or whatnot. Go on the internet and search for yourself if that's what y'all like. P. Diddy trial has started. Getting on the way. The jury going through the last phases of the jury selection. And I'll be sure on the Diddy allegations, Karen Porter's death. And he said she was in the best of health. Let's get to it.
For health equity.
After surviving a coma and liver transplant, he's an advocate pushing for real healthcare change. He's also exposing shocking truths about the music industry and recording artist Diddy in his upcoming tell-all, Do You Believe Me Now? It comes out this fall. I'll be sure, though, is joining us this morning. Good to see you.
So good to see you.
You look good. You feeling good?
I am so blessed. We woke up this morning. We don't call it a comeback like LL says, right? Mm-hmm. This is updating my software. And I'm truly grateful to be here. And Roseanne.
Al, the last time you were here, you could barely walk up the step to sit down here. Barely.
You were my first interview with Cristal, right?
Yes.
When I was released from the hospital, and it was just, what an amazing journey it's been. You know, I figured, look, when you get lemons, make Arnold Palmer.
So, what are you doing now? How are you getting the word out?
Well, you know, it's been an amazing journey. I get the call from my co-founder, Ms. Rachel Nordlinger. We started the Health Equity and Transplantation Coalition, and we are advocating in Congress, fighting for equal access to quality health care, just focused, and my focus, obviously, you know, standing in Congress and speaking in front of Congress, I've made it very clear. I am not here for the politics. I'm not here for the next election. I'm simply here to save lives of transplant patients. So, so there's a focus there. We've had some success in Congress related to having people come across the aisle, because I made that clear. So this is a real life mission. There's no marketing in my life. Roseanne, this is the best time of my life.
You look good.
This is not, there's no hustle, there's no marketing, I'm living my truth, and it's time.
So you were in that coma in 2022. You had the liver transplant, you had the tracheotomy, I mean, all that stuff that went on.
Multi-system organ failure.
Yeah,
60.
Right. Have they figured out what happened yet?
We will.
No, I mean, have the doctors medically, like, what happened to you?
Yeah, what happened? So,
because you just collapsed, right?
Yeah, so, you know, just mysteriously out of the blue, you know, which we do talk about in the book.
Yes,
what that,
I want to get into that.
What that process is. But yeah, so it's been quite a journey. And as I said, you know, even as it relates to writing the book, I went through many, almost, you know, more than a decade of being scrutinized and clowned by law enforcement, them telling me, you need some help. Sex trafficking? Really? What's wrong with you? No way. You know, just, but not realizing that they were also working for the situation.
Because you were hinting, saying,
posting. I get calls, take it down, or else, so on and so forth.
But this is about Diddy, so let's be clear for everybody that doesn't know.
Diddy, who's about to, his trial's about to start. Yeah, yes. They're selecting a jury.
But you were on this train years ago.
Yes, many, many years ago. I posted some information that was, you know, basically trying to save my life. And thank goodness to my ex, you know, the wonderful Kim Porter, the late Kim Porter, who, you know, kind of warned me all along the way to, you know, just kind of watch your back, so on and so forth. And I didn't understand why.
Because of Diddy.
Basically.
Do you believe that she died of pneumonia?
Absolutely not.
Why? What evidence do you have?
Oh, wow.
She was in the best of health. We just saw each other prior to her passing. We were actually celebrating our son's new Netflix Christmas special, and she was doing just fine. In fact, we were all at the event together at Netflix in the lobby. Sean, myself, the children, you know, all having a great time, and I'm, you know, grabbing Sean like, what? And she's in the back going, stop, you know. So it was a really festive opportunity just for all of us to be together, because it's nothing like the circus that's out here. So it was a lot of the stuff, you know, came to surprise, but a lot of the stuff will be revealed because, and that's why I thought it would be a good idea to finally tell my story. Every network came to me, participate and so on and so, but I said, listen, I have no interest in speaking about another man.
But you are in the book.
Yeah, right. But this, I will speak about where our paths cross and what's most relevant. It's something I've been trying to say for many, many years. And unfortunately, Roseanne, even with Sean being incarcerated, that's not a celebration. There's no celebration in it. First and foremost, there's way too much collateral damage in many, many ways. Many people's lives are affected. And in fact, a genre of music that I grew up in is ruined right now.
You blaming Diddy for that?
I'm blaming this entire industry and the way it's gone. And, you know, there's no one person that's in charge, but this level and this magnitude of a story, of detriment, of diabolical, you know, just heinous, you know, whatever's really going on, it's unfortunate.
Is Diddy suing you or threatening to sue you?
No.
No?
I have the truth.
But one thing is, you have volunteered to testify at the trial, correct?
Not as of yet. Actually, I was subpoenaed.
Okay.
So my attorneys worked something out. So I believe when the time is right, you know, I'm going to discuss it with my attorneys.
But you're willing to?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Y'all go check out the rest of that. That's on Good Day, New York. I'll be sure on the Diddy allegations, Kim Porter's death, and he has a book out. Says she was in her best health, best of her health. So.
Where the jury is going to be seated. Both sides will deliver opening statements in a case that could realistically send this 55-year-old music titan to prison for the rest of his life. Now, on May 7th, prosecutors, defense attorneys, they had narrowed down the jury pool to 45 qualified prospective jurors. And actually, earlier today, they were able to narrow it down a little bit further, but the official jury is not going to be seated until Monday morning, which was a surprise to us. We're going to get into why. But Sean Combs, apparently dressed in court-approved civilian clothes, sporting white hair, was present alongside his attorneys as potential jurors were questioned throughout this week. Many admitted they had seen media coverage of the case including the infamous surveillance footage of Combs allegedly assaulting his ex-girlfriend Cassandra Ventura in a hotel hallway back in 2016, a key piece of evidence that prosecutors plan to use. We believe she's victim one in this case, and I'll tell you what, based on what happened in court today, I think we can almost certainly say that it's Cassandra Ventura. We'll talk about that too. But for decades, Combs was this larger-than-life figure, producing hits for stars like Notorious B.I.G., Mary J. Blige, launching his own fashion empire with Sean John, hosting these lavish parties attended by Hollywood's elite. But now, the man who once seemed invincible sits in a Brooklyn federal jail. His jet black hair, now nearly all gray, dye isn't even allowed in detention as he faces charges of racketeering, sex trafficking, transportation to engage in prostitution. Federal prosecutors are alleging that Combs ran a criminal enterprise where employees like perhaps security guards or assistants, even higher-ranking staff, help facilitate and cover up sex trafficking. The accusations are incredibly chilling that women say that Combs controlled them through violence, drugs, financial manipulation.
And you know it's crazy because you remember that lyric that Pac said, the media are full of dirty tricks, don't get caught up in the mix. You know they gonna bring that up. Put that $1 million hit on that boy. They're gonna ask that question. They had already asked that question. So this is crazy. Like it's in to send old 50-year-old niggas to the pen. It's crazy. What y'all think, man? Y'all think he got a chance? I'm hearing he turned down 5 years. I don't know how true that is.
Prosecutors describe freak-offs as these drug-fueled sex marathons that lasted for days where Combs...
We're Phoenix Energy, a family-owned oil company focused on unleashing American oil from North Dakota and Montana. We've already sold over 2.9 million barrels, creating steady jobs for hard-working folks chasing the American dream. You can share in our success by investing with Phoenix Energy and get 9 to 13% annual interest through our Regulation D 506C bond offering. Join our next investor webinar to learn more about Phoenix Energy.
Drop the link. Okay, I'll drop the link. I'll come down, come up. Hold up, y'all.
Hold on.
Yeah, we almost.
Before you pay for yet another app to manage your team, let me introduce you to Connect Team, the one platform that
allegedly coerced.
Yeah, let me know. We drop the link, but you come up and talk to us about what you think. Diddy got a chance? Shout out to James Boy, 865. You know, my girl Petty Queen in the building. Let's get back to this shit.
Participation. In one instance, he allegedly dangled a woman over a balcony. So this is a very, very high-stakes case with incredibly distressing allegations. Now, to get us caught up to speed on what came out of today's proceedings, I'm going to head over now to our very own law and crime reporter, Elizabeth Milner, who is inside that courthouse today, downtown federal court. Elizabeth, thank you so much for coming on and also braving the elements. One of the worst rain days we've had here in New York in quite some time. So she's braving the elements for us. Elizabeth, so good to see you. So let's start off how we always start off. How did Combs appear in court and what did you get from his demeanor? Because we are right now, the eve of opening statements on Monday.
Oh yeah, opening statements are just a couple hours at this point away, and we expect a lot to come out from opening statements. But as far as Diddy, how he appeared in court today, I was honestly surprised he appeared in just normal casual wear. I thought because the jury wasn't going to be present today that there was a chance that he could be in MDC jumpsuit, but it's official. He's going to be in that casual sweater. It was navy again today with a white button-up undershirt. He had navy slacks on. Again, no belt, no shoes with laces. Didn't see his shoes or if he was wearing loafers or any of that type of sort. But considering considering again that we are just hours away from opening statements, 72 hours now at this point, that for the most part, Diddy appeared in good spirits. Now, I don't know if that's just a kind of a mask that he's portraying, just so that way when we report on these types of things that we can say things like Diddy seemed upbeat, he seemed confident, that type of thing. But as far as whether or not he appeared nervous or shaken or anything like that, that definitely wasn't the case at all today. He came inside the courtroom, a packed courtroom again today, and that's just what to expect, as a little sliver as far as what we could really expect when opening statements happen on Monday. But as far as Diddy's appearance today, again, upbeat. He waved at everyone inside the courtroom. Not any of his family was inside that courtroom because likely they're in a long time, or they're going to be here for a long time, that 2-month period, which is pretty much what the duration of the trial is expected to be. But he came inside the courtroom, of course, the marshals escorted him inside. They were also, up to the dappers and looking like Dapper Dans for the most part. They're not in their normal marshal's uniform or anything like that. They're in a full suit. Diddy comes in, he waves at everyone inside the courtroom. He kind of makes eye contact with a lot of us in the media. Then he sits down. For the most part, he chatted with his attorneys, mainly Tenny Garagos today, a couple times with Brian Steele, because when he is sitting at the defense table, he is sitting between those two attorneys, Tenny Garagos and Brian Steele, over to his left. But he seems in good spirit considering hours away from essentially the trial of his life.
By the way, I said it before, I'll say it again. We plan to cover every aspect of this Diddy trial for you here on Sidebar. And one of the reasons we can do this is because of our incredible sponsor, Morgan & Morgan. This is America's largest injury law firm. Their support helps us to keep on covering this story.
Because they expressed issues, about personal well-being. The defense pretty much has kind of summarized it that this prospective juror, non-prospective juror at this point, just didn't want to be on the case. Now, as far as number 146, let me clarify that, they had an actual open lawsuit with the city of New York. And, when we're talking about those sequestered questions that came out of Monday or in just the duration of this week during jury selection, some of these questions include, do you have any civil matters that are pending? Do you have any criminal matters that you have been or done with in the past? And according to what was said in court today, that this person didn't have yes on any of those types of answers. And so obviously after doing some digging, it was found that this person has a pending lawsuit with the city of New York. That person didn't disclose that when they were brought in for questioning this week. And so the judge did say that, we're going to strike this person for cause, and that was approved. Now, the defense kind of had an issue with that because it kind of bled into a little bit about number 131, but the judge said that those two issues weren't the same. So the question, when it came to prospective juror number 131, the defense wanted them to strike them similar to the previous juror as well, too, but that didn't happen because as far as this person, number 131, the question was just about the engagement with law enforcement. Now, this prospective juror worked in a legal aid office 20 years ago, and she was just an office manager. So the judge didn't find enough cause for them to strike that particular juror. So as far as when we came inside that courtroom today, we all thought that they were going to dwindle that number down from now 43 to 31. The question was just...
Yo, is that, that's Irv Gotti's brother in the background. I think it was probably talking to the feds right there.
The engagement with law enforcement. Now, this prospective juror worked in a legal aid office 20 years ago, and she was just an office manager. So the judge didn't find enough cause for them to strike that particular juror. So as far as when we came inside that courtroom today, we all thought that they were going to dwindle that number down from now 43 to what was supposed to be 18. So that's going to be 12 regular jurors and 6 alternates. But then the judge even mentioned possibly having 3 extra ones just in case through the weekend, because again, we were thinking that this was going to happen today on a Friday, that through the weekend, some of them might trickle down. Some of them might, come to the conclusion over the weekend that they may not serve, or they may not want to serve on this jury. And so they ended up, being like, look, we can get this done on Monday. We can get this done relatively quickly on Monday. Now, the government objected about that. They were completely opposed to it. They said that they want to begin this case as quickly as possible. And even us in the media, we thought when we come Monday morning, we thought we were just going to listen to jury instructions and opening statements were going to get underway. So now when we come in on Monday, because now these 43 jurors have to come in at 8:30 on Monday, and then they will be asked the questions. People will be struck more and more and more and more down until we can get those, again, 12 regular jurors, those 6 alternates. So essentially from the government's point of view, that they were strongly opposed to doing this process.
Let me guess. You're thinking about going to...
I'll stop it right there. Appreciate everybody for tapping in, man. Wasn't no schedule log. Just pull up, roll up, get blow, get litty. Y'all know what it is. No inferior smokes. This live is brought to you by Fast 88 420. If you in the Inland Empire area and y'all want that good premium smoke, holla at them. Holla at them and Fast Notes. That's 909-526-9583. This live is brought to you by that. No drinking and driving. Please, no drinking and driving. I appreciate everybody. Here we go.
Another Mike D exclusive.
Hey, hey. This little motherfucking Larry nigga. Alright, look. Hey, I ain't no killer, but don't push me. Shit, I ain't no killer, you just pussy.
Everybody that's pulling up, man. Make sure like catch us on the
Looked in the mirror when I do, I see straight anger. Shit, I hate myself. Feel like a straight hater, hate these scores I was dealt. But I'm gon' be greater. Seems like I bounce back every time, but I keep falling, keep crawling. In the meantime, niggas keep talking, can't control it. Do I got it on me? You better know it. Epic moments, I'm finna make it, bro. I'm hella focused. Gotta stop playing with this gift that God's giving me. I can change the world, God, thanks for these abilities. Look how I move, see God bless me with agility. It's about patience, then it's about consistency. Niggas hating, I bet you feel the hostility. I know somebody in this motherfucker feeling me. Keep it real. Hey, hey. Hey, keep it real, I'm gon' keep it real with you. They can't see them brothers do good, so keep it still with you.
I already told you. All is well, my niggas well is all with the Finnstown nigga, and that's a dog. I love you, young niggas. Super.
But I am not breaking, stay dangerous. Wanna be loved, nigga, not famous. I hate it, tryna stop smoking, but it's my favorite. Niggas unloyal when these women, they be money hungry. Stab you in your back over drugs, you a fucking junkie. It's funny, I wouldn't switch for no amount of money. They love me, cause I'm the realest from Monday to Sunday. Niggas think cause they smoke with you, man, you owe them. Nigga, this weed don't mean shit, and I'ma show them it's about intentions. See, I ain't never been big on forgiveness. I would speak on what you want, but I'm minding my business. I'm different, not in for clout and don't fake for attention. Write music, get high, and talk to myself, and intervention. Keep it real, keep it real. Hey, hey, keep it real, I'm gon' keep it real with you. They hate seeing brothers do good, so keep it still with you. Hey, keep it real and we'll be reciprocated. If you can't keep it real, then we are not affiliated. Keep it real with me. Appreciate what you have, can't be mad. Don't worry about the shit you never had. I'm gon' make it for all the times my back's been stabbed. For all the times they made fun of me, these niggas laughed. I was hurt, ironic, I needed that. Now I'm glad, cause without it I probably wouldn't be here in this bag. God is so good. Praise to the Almighty, alrighty. They shot him on Thursday, he died Friday. See, Lil Larry, the only nigga I got, and I forgot, no more loving. I think that shit a lot, it got me hot. Get into it with love, more than the ops, I gotta stop. Shit, tired of posting up on this block. I'm too young to be stressing, fuck the gift for a present. You gotta know your worth, nigga, my gift is my presence. Ain't you happy I'm present? Nah, you rather neglect it. Without any love, I'm in the streets, it's me for reckless. I'm just hey, keep it real, I'm gon' keep it real with you. They hate seeing brothers do good, so keep it still with you. Look, hey, keep it real, it will be reciprocated. If you can't keep it real, then we are not affiliated. Keep it real with me.
FirstFamRadio.com. FirstFamRadio.com.